Hello, world, and welcome to Grounded and Guided. I am your host, Lynette Waltham, and I'm so glad that you choose to be here with me in this moment. Today, I really just want to talk about my work, how I channel and provide energetic healing for people. So here we go. Before I enter into any type of a container with a client, or if I'm channeling for myself as well, the first thing that I do is I ground. And this is a process that has evolved with me over the course of me just developing my skills as a channeler and an energetic healer. But it often includes some type of my body and my energetic body extending and connecting with the earth. So, a very basic, simple, but easy way to ground is just allowing roots, cords, ties, or tethers start to grow out from the bottoms of your feet, connect with the earth, and just basically grow an intricate root system with the earth. This is a practice that I come back to often. It changes and evolves and maybe gets a bit more complex as I evolve and I ebb and flow through my healing journey and where I am at energetically. But for the most part, that's like the fundamental or the basic part of my grounding. So that grounded state puts me into the present moment. And it is in the present moment where the channeling can really truly happen because I am focused on the messages as they come, as I hear them, as I see them, as I smell them, as I taste them, as I know them, as I feel them. All of those messages are coming in to me at the present moment. So once I have grounded, it just centers me into the present moment. Sometimes I might have to do a bit more work to just allow myself to be more in my body and less in my head. So I might have to do maybe a bit more of a body scan to just allow myself to center more presently. From there, then I start to expand my energy. So I do this by opening my seven main chakras and I open and I expand those energy centers. I start at the root and I work my way up to my crown. From that space, then I connect with source energy. So I use the term source. You can use a higher power, God, divine, whatever serves you. There is no right or wrong. And for a lot of my conversations, I'm going to talk about source energy, but really it is an energy that comes from above. It comes from that divine source. And the energy that I often start to bring down to get myself into that preparatory state is very vibrant white light. And I just move my awareness above the top of my head, higher up, and connect with a source that is in the heavens. And I bring that white light energy. I pull it down towards me like I'm a magnet and I draw that energy down towards me and I allow it to flow in through the top of my head, through my crown chakra. And I allow that white light energy to move down through my center. And then often I expand it out from the center of my being into all areas of my body. So I'm just filling my body with this very cleansing energy. And the purpose of this is to get me to a space where I am clear and I am neutral so that there is no personal energetic interference from me. So I am doing my very best to become a very clear and neutral channel to serve the highest and greatest good for you. So after I've connected with that energy and I've moved that energy into my center, all around my body, into my cells, and I have cleared out any energies that might be creating some interference for the messages for you, then I really start to just expand my energy even further than when I maybe just opened my chakras. So for me, this is just pushing energy out from the very center of my being. And there's been different colors that have come to me over the years as I have allowed my energy to expand. But I just listen to that as that comes to me because I know that I trust that. I know that feels safe, that feels right for that time. And I just allow myself to move through that process with whatever color is a part of that moment. And really, it's like taking your energy and just pushing it away from you and pushing it to the walls of the room around you, and then pushing it so that it's like you have like a force field around you, and you're just allowing that force field just to grow and grow beyond maybe the four walls of the room. And that's a little bit of a practice in itself. And it's one that I've developed over the years. But really, what I'm doing is I am expanding my energy. I am allowing myself to be more open and communicative with people, places, things, environments, souls, beings, whatever is open to communicate. One thing that is really important to note is that I have become very intentional when I expand my energy and open myself up to communications. So, this isn't something that I go about my day expanded and constantly like connecting with other energies. This is something that I'm doing very intentionally to do my work. Once I've reached that point where I have expanded my energy, now I am checking in. Am I energetically ready? Am I meeting the threshold where I have the capacity to hold space for somebody? Because I feel that's really important. There are times when I ground, I center, and I go to expand my energy and I struggle. I am just not in the proper space, maybe the proper headspace, the proper emotional space, the proper heart space where I can hold and help heal others. And so I'm constantly like checking myself and seeing, is there external help that I need? Is there internal time that I need to get myself ready for working with clients? And so there are some times when I really do have to call somebody and we need to rebook because I'm just not able to show up for them how I need to show up for them. And I have a threshold that I bump up against and I check myself. And if I'm not at that threshold, I'm just asking, do I have capacity for helping others today? This doesn't happen very often, but I have a lot of personal practices that I am constantly doing so that I am maintaining that energetic sustainability to be able to help people. Personal practices, they aren't just like fun and games all the time. They really do serve very much a purpose for me in the work that I do. So if I am ready and at that capacity level that I like to be at to be able to hold space for people, then what I am doing is I'm starting to connect with my spirit guides and I'm assessing the environment. I am just expanding into my space and the space around me and making sure that there isn't any energetic interference that might muddy the channel between us. And so sometimes this means that there are some lost souls that I need to cross over. Sometimes I'm in a space and I just need to give it a good energetic clear, like a freshen, like spraying air freshener, spraying energetic air freshener in the room just to prepare it to accommodate the work that we're going to do. And once I have done the supportive work for the environment, then I call upon help from the angels, my dragons, spirit guides, all those that in that moment want to support creating a bit of a protective barrier. Then I ask them to help me. And we basically put a bubble of protection around the area that we're working in. And if we're working virtually, then we're putting an energetic bubble around that virtual container, just so that we have a bit of protection so that we can make sure that we have very little energetic interference with the session. So when we meet, whether we're virtual or we're in person, then I start to connect to your energy. So I do this basically, I have expanded myself, like I talked about, and now it's like diffusion, I guess we could call it, to go back to junior high science, where my energy field is very expanded and open and ready to interact with yours. And so I just allow myself to diffuse into your energetic field. I often find that when I work with a client, it's really helpful to do a grounding practice to get them into the present moment of the session together so that they can leave anything that was maybe going on in the external world behind before they come to the session, and they can just be in that moment. And also, we do a bit of a practice just to get you to be able to calm, to be able to relax, which helps to like nourish the opening of your energy as well. It's really hard sometimes to get to that space where we're maybe desiring to be if we are extremely frazzled, our nervous system is fried. And so that initial grounding and calming practice can really help you just be more open to the experience that we are about to join in together. And so that practice just looks like me basically guiding you through a short meditation. And meditation can look and feel various different ways, but basically, I talk my way through a practice, and you have the opportunity to be as active or as passively involved in that as you choose. But myself being the one that is like supporting and creating the container, I am often doing the work for you. So if you just want to sit back and just drop into that more deep, relaxed, meditative state, then you can do that. And I can be making sure that the grounding is happening and like the opening is happening. I just want to really lead you to a place of calm. So from there, then I really start to tap in a little bit like deeper with the body. Often it's the body that I start to communicate with first. And I do this within the kind of this practice, just scanning your body and seeing what is starting to speak to me, what energies are starting to jump out and grab my attention. So I focus on those areas to just identify them. And then I often will just start to bring in some clearing energies to help you feel a bit more calm, more grounded. And sometimes that initial clearing energy just helps to take off that first layer that could be clouding any of the important messages that we need to get to. So it's just like a little bit of like a scrubber to just take off that first layer of energetic grime. Now I move into really starting to listen to what messages are coming through, who is maybe bringing these messages through. So, this is often where I start connecting with your spirit guides, angels, dragons, past loved ones, souls that have passed that maybe we don't necessarily have a connection with in this lifetime, but they were maybe of importance to us in past lifetimes, and they maybe have some messages to bring forward. So I am just starting to create connections with all these various different supportive souls and beings that serve your highest and greatest good. And I just start to listen. I start to feel. I start to see. Sometimes I start to smell or taste, or there's just a deep knowing. And I follow those. I trust those. And I start to communicate them. And we just move through that process. There are so many different aspects of you that can be channeled. And really, what often can be happening is that there are messages or insights, desires that come from your subconscious that want to be brought into the conscious. And so I have the ability to listen deeply to those and bring those to the surface in the form of awareness. And it's really important to recognize that the messages that are being channeled are to serve your highest and greatest good. They're not written in stone. They are not something that you have to do, must do. They're like dictated rules to follow. No, it's wisdom, it's guidance, it's insight that comes from you and your energy and your soul, and those that work with you to help you be your highest and greatest good. You have complete free will. Nothing is bound, nothing is set in stone. Nothing is like, this is my absolute how my life path must go and I must follow it. Absolutely not. We are in constant creation with the world and the world around us and with ourselves. And you are continually making choices and using your free will. So the information is there. It's just that information. What you choose to do with it is up to you. Yes, you can get very specific guidance that you could possibly take that would support a path for you that might be serving or loving, would really support some growth that you're asking for. But at the end of it, the choice is 100% completely up to you, whether you choose to follow the information or take the actions. It's totally your choice. So as this information comes up, often to what I will channel from your guides, past loved ones, angels, ascended masters, any souls or beings that are really trying to support your highest and greatest good. They will also provide me with information on the healing that would maybe help support some of the awareness that has been brought up in the session. And so I'm listening for that, listening as to what is the best modality. Most of the time, I am the conduit for that. And so basically, I'm just the vessel. I am listening as to the energy that needs to be utilized and moved. And I am just the conduit for that. So I connect with source energy, Reiki life force healing energy. I connect with those higher heavenly frequencies. And I draw that down through and out of me and into you. So it really is a flow. So people often say, "Oh, Lynette, you must get so tired," or, "Oh man, I'm sorry. I don't want you to have this. I don't want to give this to you." But remember, I'm a conduit. I do a lot of work on myself to make sure that I am an open flowing vessel so that things aren't sticking with me. It literally moves into me, out of me, through you, and then I can draw that back and then it moves out of me. So there is a flow happening there. I do my very best when we choose to part after the end of the session to disconnect from you, to pull my energy back from yours, to create boundaries so that you're going about your day in your energetic freedom. And I'm going about my day in my energetic freedom because we do not want to be having energetic conversations back and forth for hours afterwards. And we don't want to be connected and carrying each other around. So I just do my very best to make sure that when we are done, we are disconnected and cleared of each other. So when I talk about energetic healing, I learned Reiki. That is my base modality. But does it end there? Absolutely not. As I have moved through my practice, developed my skill set, received upgrades, transmissions, various different attunements over the course of my own personal journey, as choosing to step into this work as a channeler and an energetic healer, my abilities and my ranges of what I can do, it has evolved. It has changed and it continues to do that. The energetic healer that I am today is not the same one that I was 6 months ago. And a lot of that too is impacted by my own healing journey and the work that I choose to do on myself. Because every time that I recognize that there's something within me that isn't serving me, I do the inner work to release whatever was causing me to hold on to that, to let it go. And every single time that I am letting those energies go within myself, it just opens me up to more flowing, freeing energy and the ability to interact with different energetic frequencies. And so for me, that's looked very different in regards to even the colors of energies that I work with. When I first started, a lot of energy was just white, and I was just moving white light energy. And then that shifted to me seeing and working with and moving different colors of energy, more of the basic rainbow colors. And then those colors, they enhanced and they evolved to a very huge system of colors as I continue to advance my skill sets. And the big thing is that every single time I am moving energy, and if that the color changes or a new color comes into my awareness that I'm working with, I've learned that I need to just trust that and allow that to move because that is what is needed in that moment. And trust is a big part of this work. It took me a long time to get to a point where I trusted myself enough to be able to help people in this type of a container. And when I can trust myself enough, I understand and I do not second guess the messages and the feelings and the energies that I am working with. And a lot of trust also comes from the person that I'm working with. I don't take that lightly. I feel like it's a huge honor when someone trusts me with their energy, trusts me with their emotions, trusts me with the safety of their mind, body, soul, and spirit. So, thank you so much for joining me here today in this moment. I hope that you found some kind of interesting little pieces here, and maybe you have grown your curiosity even more. And that just excites me so much because I really just love what I do. working in the spiritual realms and understanding energy and divine support has really changed my life. And I just love it when I can just share just even a little bit of this really fascinating and cool realm with everyone. So have a great day. And if you enjoyed this and you want to hear more from me, then please subscribe, follow, and find me at LynetteWealthofEnergy.com.